Aloha, y'all. It is Freya's Day, Friday. We just had a podcast actually from 8 to 10 a.m. my time with the conspiracy music guru. Interesting chap, British musician living now as an expat in Spain with his wife. Anyway, so I'm up and at him, but I'm a little later than normal. So the sun is in Capricorn, the moon is in Gemini, Mercury is in Aquarius in retrograde, Venus is in retrograde in Capricorn. So Mercury is in retrograde now for the until I think February 3rd. So that's going to be a thing. Venus is in retrograde I think until Valentine's Day. Mars is in Sagittarius, Jupiter's in Pisces, Saturn's in Aquarius, Uranus is in retrograde that ends on Tuesday in a few days, 3 or 4 days. And Neptune's in Pisces, Pluto's in Capricorn, North Node is in Gemini. It will be exiting Gemini and entering Taurus at the same time that Uranus goes direct in Taurus. So, a whole lot of shifts, a whole lot of energy going on. Let's go ahead and pull some cards and see what we got. So, hopefully you all are doing well out there. We got this the other day, but it is what it is. The Tower card. With Mercury now in retrograde, with Uranus in retrograde and Taurus about to go direct, there's a whole lot of changes, a whole lot of shifts in the world around us. So the Tower card is a major arcana. It's after the Devil, right? When the world is kind of oppressive and stuff, there's a breakthrough, a breakdown. So Tower card, rapid, unsettling change, surrender to flashes of insight, power in not knowing. Your world feels like it's falling apart. Strengthen your core beliefs. With the sun in Capricorn it's 3 degrees away, about to be conjunct on Sunday. With Pluto, death and transformation, the systems, the world is changing. It's shifting. Things, somebody has thrown a pool stick into the bicycle tire and things are going to start coming undone pretty rapidly, I would imagine. The Tower, I know that radical transformation is being required of me, and that's true of all of us right now. We don't need to sit around being in fear. We need to be starting to stand up and be sovereign, understanding what our values are, and finding people that have similar values and aligning with that worldview, not in antagonism towards other things, but as a self-defined thing itself. So radical change and transformation is being required of me. The Tower is visualized here as a steampunk industrial edifice. It has colonized nature and is built within a Neolithic stone circle constituted from many found here in Britain. Part ancient and mysterious, part Burning Man installation. Its summit bears a transmitter beaming man's existence out into space. It represents mankind's evolution and manifest expression, his ascent from working harmoniously with nature, like very Garden of Eden energy, through engineering and the organization of industry to the expansion, agility, and creativity of the radio telescope searching deep space. Very Promethean. Extending our vision of life beyond Earth's limits, which may or may not, as we just had a flat earther talking about, be a valid perspective. Fiery meteors are showering down, dangerously striking the Tower and setting it alight, symbolizing the ultimate precarious nature of mankind. Like the dinosaurs, we too can disappear overnight. The things we painstakingly built can be wiped out, our culture, ideas, and tangible evidence of it razed to the ground. On a personal level, the Tower illustrates how our belief systems and ideas constructed over time, come to form a concrete identity and picture of reality, and that can seemingly be catastrophically demolished, right? The illusions are shattered. Illusions help us function, but then they get shattered. That's what growing up is all about. The sudden force from outside of dark secret. You could tell it's Mercury retrograde. I'm a Sun and Moon Gemini. I'm stuttering all over the place here, misreading everything. Though, in my defense, a lot of these words are hyphenated and on the edge of the line, so it's like I'm having to think a little differently. The sudden force from outside or dark secret revealed, and the true story of who we are and where we're going comes crashing down. The figures leaping artfully from the Tower, a surrendered quality and grace to their descent, ambiguously hinting that perhaps, after all, they might not die. A metaphor for our capacity to surrender to the will of nature. Like you're actually always being held, in a sense, by God and life and reality, so you don't have to freak out and give up necessarily. I'm wondering if my camera lens is cleaned. Hold on. I was like, I see blur. Is that because of my fingerprint? Or is that the camera? Je ne sais pas. Oh, I guess the person's blurry. I was like, why is that blurry? They are actually blurry art. Anyway. There is great power and freedom in not knowing, in admitting the truth and overturning the conditions that cover up the I don't knows. Without precognition, we cannot simply We cannot possibly know what's going to happen in the future. We can only guess at one based on assumptions. We don't know what's best for ourselves or for anyone else for that matter, including our children. The tower signals there will be a rapid, unsettling change in your life accompanied by a sense that things are collapsing and falling apart, indeed breaking down, in order for something new to happen. In the long term, the shattering of internal and external structures can be an amazing catalyst for growth and wisdom. That which isn't true is blasted clean away. Change is not disastrous and earth-shattering. Rather, it is a leap from one thing to another. All the world's a stage. You look out and see drama unfolding, and look within and see the theater of your mind. The only constants change. Ultimately, the tower, which represents the structure and potency of the ego, is made of thoughts. So its collapse enables us to see, and thoughts, when truly seen, are neither good nor bad. So the tower, rapid unsettling change, surrender to flashes of insight, power not knowing. Your world feels like it's falling apart, strengthening your core beliefs. With Sun conjunct Pluto, yes, Capricorn Sun, Capricorn Pluto, it's like that. There's great change in the world, the physical world. It's not just you tripping and imagining this. This is what's happening. So let's go ahead and get some clarification. As it dropping things left and right. Mercury retrograde, kicking my ass already. Please, hopefully I don't damage my fingers anymore or hurt myself. I'm going to be traveling soon. That'll be fun. To Alabama. All right, for a few weeks to hang out with my Nana. That should be fun. But it's Alabama, so it's only so helpful. The Maiden, number 2 in this deck. So, though innocence in a sense is being lost, that doesn't mean we should just, put a gun to our heads and pull the trigger. Like, there's still beautiful things worthy of experiencing to hold on to. Maiden, like a freshness. Out of the ashes comes the phoenix. So number 2, I think I've already passed it. Yep. All right, here it is. Number 2, the Maiden. Very Gemini, Moon in Gemini, North Node in Gemini. Keywords: fertility, independence, self-esteem, confidence, self-expression, self-exploration, self-interest, sexuality, creativity, selfishness, codependence, and timidity. Key phrases: follow your dreams, Jupiter and Pisces. Follow your dreams. Discover your passions. North Node in Gemini, Moon in Gemini. Figure things out for yourself. Focus on self-discovery. Saturn in Aquarius. You're engineering your own life. How do you want to hack it? Address self-imposed limits and restrictions, which is, what's holding you back. The cast has to break sometimes for the arm to be healed fully. Increased independence. Seek your own answers. Release feelings of fear and abandonment. Craving attention, needing rescue, expressing goals and desires, being true to the self, and acting with empathy. The Maiden walks an unfamiliar path, but does so with confidence and grace. She has been taught, right? So it's an unfamiliar path. Moon and Gemini, it's like, who knows where we're going? Follow the old road through the woods, but there's a confidence and a nobility, an austereness to it. Capricorn Sun, Venus in retrograde Capricorn. She has been taught by those around her that it is not selfish or conceited to follow her dreams and actively work to manifest her goals and desires. For Capricorn Sun, work and achieve your world. Dream your dream. She does so without needing permission from anyone. Very Aquarian energy, right? Much like her male counterpart, the Youth, the modern Maiden is not afraid to ask questions, challenge answers, and be adventurous explorer. But while the Youth explores new horizons, the Maiden explores herself, her structures, her world. Capricorn, but still explorative and fun and open. Moon in Gemini. The Maiden is equally interested in first discovering and then nurturing her interests and increasing her self-knowledge and exploring her waking sexuality. She forms relationships with healthy boundaries and expresses her sexuality with innocent pride and confidence. When she chooses to take a lover for the first time, it will be done without shame or fear of judgment. If she chooses to remain alone, it is not because she believes herself to be undesirable, but because she does not believe that she needs a lover in order to be happy or fulfilled. The Maiden card is one of youthful confidence. Youthful, Gemini Sun, Gemini Moon, and North Node in Gemini, confidence and actualization. Pluto conjunct Sun in Capricorn. Increasing independence, empowerment, confidence. She is fertile, but uses her fertile nature to create, express, and explore. She is on a journey of self-discovery, focused on learning more about who she is and what makes her happy. And she knows that her explorations in the present will give rise to a future self who knows what she wants from life and is not afraid to make it happen. In the past, the Maiden was expected to do as she was told, South Node in Sag, right? Do the tradition and be true to the expectations of family and society. In the present, the Maiden chooses to begin the journey towards self-awareness and empowerment. North Node in Gemini for the last days. So the world is crumbling in a way, and times are changing, even if it's a positive crumbling, like, mask mandates aren't a thing now, or whatever. Like, those are positive kind of crumblings. there's a lot of change afoot, but that doesn't mean to freak out. It means to engage it with a youthful confidence and a hope. Look, when the world falls apart, you can make a new world. That kind of energy. You can explore what it means to be part of the huge change. So let's go ahead and get Galactic Heritage card. I think I'm going to be playing my electric guitar today. I've got it all set up. I might play a song. Who knows? Energy Transmission, number 10 from Arcturus. Parallel timeline with the moon in Gemini. You got this Gemini North Node kind of dualism being represented. So let's go ahead and see what it has to say for us. Arcturus Energy Transmission, Parallel Timeline. Arcturus energy has guided humanity since its very early inception, but its guidance is subtle. It often guides through gentle energy transmission. Often this energy transmission comes through the healing arts, such as Reiki and the forms of hands-on healing. Because Arcturus's polarities are totally balanced, it usually circumvents the mind when working with humans. If you pulled this card, then an Arcturus energy wishes to work with you, or through you. In a quiet space, open your palms and focus your energy on the sensations there. Ask for a transmission. This energy is familiar to you from ancient times, right? Break on through to the other side. And you can ask this in a kind of youthful, innocent way. You can be like, hey, I want to work with the universe. Show me what you got. Kind of energy. Mars and Sagittarius, like, let's find new truths. Because the Arcturian energy is so pure in essence and so connected to our true state of being, it can assist us on the earth plane in many ways. It is often channeled through hands-on healing techniques and, without words, is transmitted from one human to another through love and touch. Again, this is one reason why it is such a profound component of midwifery. It is often the first energy channeled by new channels. Healing practitioners often get this card in their readings as a validation of their art. If you've received this card in your reading, again, it is important to look at the peripheral circumstances to which it can be applied. It may be acknowledging your healing abilities or suggesting that you are work on them more. It may be telling you that you are a recipient of a transmission from loving Arcturus consciousness. Go deep within and find what it is telling you. It could also be referring to channeling abilities that you have that can be expressed in many ways. In meditation, see if you can open yourself up to receiving this transmission and know that this transmission can come in words or through simple, pure, loving energy. All this Mercury retrograde, I got dropping this, dropping that. So even in the midst of a collapse, there's energy transmission going on. You can find new paths. You don't have to freak out. Just because the store has no food, that means you go learn how to grow food with the other people. It's like that. You don't just sit there and give up. And I think because there's so much heavy structure, world energy, like the world is trying to force you to do what it wants and be who they think they want you to be, we're probably feeling a lot of pressure. But that means you got to be fierceness, the Wolverine, independent, right? When the going gets tough, the tough get going. But you don't have to do it like a blind animal. You can do it like a learning human, basically. So, fierceness, Wolverine. Number 5. And we have the Wolverine. Fierceness. We should develop a sense of healthy fierceness. Right now, do not shy away from things that confront you. Right, the Tower card. Things are happening, but choose carefully how you act. There is shrapnel and like debris falling, so be careful. Use your head. You can be fierce, but not angry. Loyalty is important right now. Mythos. Vidar was the younger son of Odin and the giantess Gridr. Vidar's half-brothers were Thor and Loki. His land is described in the Edda as a high place of brushwood and tall grasses, and it is said that his companion animal was the Wolverine, which was fierce, strong, and secretive. Vidar was considered to be a god of silence and was called upon to uphold vows, especially vows of secrecy. He had magical shoes that made him strong and could take him anywhere. Vidar showed his determination and fierceness at the time of Ragnarok, the end of the world, their Tower card moment. Right? He showed how he could transmit energy and walk his path through tapping into ferocity. Vidar is one of the only few gods to survive Ragnarok, so just because the world's falling apart doesn't mean you don't make it. It had been prophesied that the world would end with wolves eating the sun. The mighty wolf Fenrir had battled Odin, the Allfather, and had fallen. Vidar saw his father fall, screamed for vengeance, and set upon the wolf. Very Mars and Sagittarius, very passionate, journey. He took off one of his shoes and placed it in the open jaws of Fenrir, keeping the wolf's jaw open and wide, and then plunged his sword again and again into the wolf's mouth, eventually killing him. Many mythos of the First Nations of the United States also feature the Wolverine, mainly as a trickster figure, Moon in Gemini, North Node in Gemini. The animal. Wolverines live in remote Arctic forests and live in the remote Arctic forest and mountain environments as isolated from humans as possible. They are an elusive creature found in Russia, Canada, and the United States, Baltic countries, China, and Mongolia. Female wolverines have snow dens and give birth to 2 or 3 kits. Their reproductive cycles is such that they can keep in suspended growth fertilized blastocytes if conditions are not supportive. Saturn and Aquarius, they've hacked nature and know how to basically be born when their conditions are most appropriate, like stay in suspended animation. Their natural enemy is the wolf, although they are much smaller than the average wolf. They are fierce hunters and will defend kills against raiding wolves and bears by relying on their sharp teeth and long claws. As they have large home ranges, they rely on conservation of their habitat. They can range hundreds of kilometers in one season. Wolverines are so secretive that scientists do not presently know how many of them there may be. Because their habitats are being destroyed or encroached upon, and because of global warming pressures, they may be threatened. The magic. Wolverine magic is to be utilized when you need a real will and determination, right? When you're trying to walk your path in a playful way, but you need to keep walking that path. When you need to be open to energy transmissions and not just close your mind because the whole world is seemingly falling apart. Your world is falling apart. You have to have will and determination. When you're against the odds and you need a bit of healthy fierceness to get things done, call on this animal's energy. Also, if you wish to have an energy witness to keep a vow or secretly safe for you, Wolverine energy would be a great choice. Symbologies: shoe, long claws, shoe in the mouth of a wolf, tracks in snow, Wolverine claws, striped back, a man with big shoes with a Wolverine. Status is near threatened. Like she was saying, we don't know their numbers exactly. But sometimes, to run away from the shrapnel as it's falling, yes, you could stand there and be like, maybe everything will miss me, but you could also tap into your will and be fierce and run away, or change your scenery in a sense. So I think that is very much being represented there in the card. Let's go ahead and get an art oracle card. I'm just going to cut the deck a couple times, because why not? We've got Henry Matisse in his pajamas, very Gemini moon. It's like, I just want to chill out and be comfortable and have fun. Like, what? No stress. I'm not going to wear a tuxedo to bed. Capricorn sun wants to be like, everything is business. And it's like, have pleasure with your business too. So Matisse is as follows. He's from France. Henry Matisse paintings and paper cutouts are distinguished by vivid colors, simple forms, and bold fluid movements. Professionally, he could be a wild beast or fauvist. Personally, however, Matisse was quite rigid, Capricorn sun. Adhering to strict working schedules, Capricorn conjunct Pluto, adhering to strict working schedules, he told his fiancée, later wife, that his love for her would never match his love for art. Maybe keep that to yourself, Gemini mouth moon, talking too much about your real feelings for art. He kept his promise. Later in his life, his health weakened, but not in his artistic obsession. Matisse worked in bed and slept with his materials. The artist appears in photographs and self-portraits in his signature working pajamas, sometimes painting large-scale pieces with a brush placed at the end of a very long stick. Saturn and Aquarius, kind of hacking his methodology in the world. So, it says productivity, even in pajamas, right? So, there's work to do, even when the world's falling apart. There's fierceness and will to tap into, but make sure you're being aware of all the energies, not just fear, and ultimately being productive on your path, your journey towards becoming. You're ripening. You're becoming more and more of a human being every day. So productivity, even in pajamas. Your circumstances shouldn't dictate they influence, but they shouldn't dictate your decisions. Like, yes, the tower is collapsing, but that doesn't mean you just stand there and get killed. Fight or flight kind of thing. Tap into your ferocity and know which way to go by channeling the energy of youthful adventure, essentially. And then you won't look at this as an apocalypse. You'll look at it as a new beginning, kind of like in Fight Club. I mean, if you're a banker in one of those buildings in Fight Club, it's like, shit, we're all dying. But if you're, the street punk kind of hipster whatever, you're like, yes, a new beginning is available to us. So we've got quartz. I love this this cluster of quartz. What it is, and you can quantumly entangle this. I own some quartz, but you don't have to. We can understand that we are connected to all things at some level. What it is, among the most abundant minerals on the planet, clear quartz is everywhere, but it's a far from basic thing. A master manifester, quartz is programmable, so give it a job to do and get busy. Who needs it? Rockhounds. Quartz intensifies the power of all stones in your crystal collection. Geminis, where the moon and north node are. Where to put it? Between your eyebrows during meditation. When to use it? When you find yourself believing the limitations your mind puts in front of you, right? And you're going to break through with fierceness into that new maiden path when you realize that, oh my gosh, my worldview is not fully encompassing. Call on course to help you see through the illusions, clear the mind of self-doubt, surrender to the will to the universe, and start manifesting the, quote, impossible. Enhance your vision, right? So if we actually see and can predict, I guess, where the shrapnel is going to go and, which way the tower is going to fall, we're able to actually walk forward well and with enthusiasm. You might want to tap into your higher guides and yourself in some way and try to get answers in terms of what ferocity you should be bringing to the table, what passivity you should be bringing to the table, because not, just running around with like a banshee with your head cut off is not a good look all the time. Chicken with its head cut off. But sometimes action, like fierce action, is necessary. So productivity, even in pajamas, regardless of the situation, you can walk forward on the path, loving and accepting, maybe not always enjoying, but trying to enjoy the ride and being acceptant of the situation. Enhance your vision with quartz crystal. If you had night vision goggles and could chart the trajectories mathematically of each of these falling debris, you would know where the safest place is. So enhance your vision to know how to handle the apocalypse that we're finding ourselves in, basically. And North Node in Gemini is about, your two eyes, in a sense, like your senses of perception. They can deceive you, Jupiter and Pisces, but they can also liberate you, North Node in Gemini. Let's go ahead and play some music. So with the Sun in Capricorn and the Moon in Gemini, I think it's like taking care of business. So you're doing the work, but you're having fun and singing a song while you're doing it. Making it a game. Whistle while you work. That doesn't mean the work doesn't exist. Just it's a matter of how you perceive it. And the work right now is to avoid getting impaled by falling debris or whatever. The world is changing, and with the Sun conjunct Pluto, it's really changing for everybody. Tower card. Let's go for it. You get the idea. I was being really timid because my fingernail. But with the Tower card, We should be making fun. The maiden is the clarifier. We should be having fun even in the midst of collapse, right? So I was trying to make as much cacophony kind of weirdness as I could. Not as much as I could, but given that situation. London Bridge is falling down, but that doesn't mean your world is over. It's just beginning. Tap into energies that transmit the necessary guidance you need. Tap into your ferocity, knowing that, you got to stand up for your rights. You got to stand up for yourself sometimes, knowing when to let go, knowing when to fight. Do it in your pajamas even, right? Productivity even in pajamas. So you might be caught in the middle of the night. The redcoats are coming. It's like you got to just do your thing, whether you're ready fully or not. Ready or not, here it comes. Enhance your vision with crystal quartz by knowing that this too shall pass, but this is a birth pang that we have to go through, and that your journey isn't over, it's just beginning. To try to tap into that, the energy that transmits into a degree where you feel guided and safe in the midst of battle, but you still have to bring your, tenacity to it. So productivity, no matter what the situation, and enhance your vision with quartz, knowing that there's more than just the fray of the battle in front of you. You can get around it. You can flank. You can even retreat if necessary. So hopefully that makes sense. Holler for readings if you want. Check out the Team Rabbit Hole podcast. We just did 3 in a row in like less than 24 hours, so a whole lot of new content. And I'm trying to think what else. Yeah, just enjoy your Freya's Day. Try to understand that it's not just you. There's a lot of big shifts happening, so you're not crazy. It's happening. On that note, have a beautiful Freya's Day. Bye.